Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Streakers Island podcast.
Yeah.
There's the welcome screen that Dan loves. It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, and for the first time in a week and a half, I was able to find Craig. Craig has been lost on a canoe for over a week, the poor bloke. He said he was just going to get marshmallows for s'mores. Dan said he never had a s'more before. Then Craig flipped out. Lane tried ribs at Chuck's Roadhouse for the first time during
They were so good.
We're not sponsored by Chuck's Roadhouse, but we could be. Hey, Chuck's, Streakers app could do so much for you, just FYI.
And honestly, why didn't you just go to Crumble and get the s'mores cookie? My girlfriend and me went to Crumble the other day, and I had the s'mores cookie. That thing was delicious. It only cost $40. It's like a cookie store that charges like $50 for a cookie. It's really good.
Welcome to the Streakers Island Cook-Off. But we got a busy show today. Of course, we have Lane Dashing Dashco, Mr. Moore for your money.
Woo!
And myself. And of course, we found Chazzy's boat. Somehow, no leaks. He had flex tape on board, so he was good to go.
Flex tape!
We have a very full show. The CFL had a lot of player movement with NFL camps coming to an end, but players getting cut. We're going to dive into that. Of course, we have the Labor Day weekend. We're going to talk about Toronto Blue Jays. Looked like the Blue Jays were going to lose, but they found a way. NFL season is around the corner, so we're going to take a look at those Super Bowl odds. Plus, the Calgary Flames are rumored to be making a pretty big splash in the defensive end. Does this make sense? All that, so much more. Lane will probably talk more about cookies. I want a chocolate chip cookie now, but
me too.
Let's get right into this. And the Toronto Blue Jays did the same thing to Minnesota that Minnesota did to them in game 2 of this series, coming back from behind and getting a big victory. You saw Jeff Hoffman have a nice bounce back game after last game. He was hopeless. Lawler, though. Lauer, sorry. Not Kenny Lawler. I'm not still in CFL mode. Well, he did not look great. Didn't even get to 5 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, and only 4 strikeouts. I think maybe the hot streak of him being a starter is done, and he might be moving down. I think Alek Manoah might be moving up into your bullpen, and you may be sending this guy back down the AAA.
Wow.
His last 2 starts have been really shaky. They can't afford shaky starts right now. And they already have 6 starting pitchers right now, so they don't really need
someone's gotta go, yeah.
Or you move him to the bullpen. But I'm actually with Lane's side. I want to see Alek Manoah. But before we get into that, after that big win, let's go over our player of the game.
Wow.
And my player of the game, I'm going to go first. And I'm giving it to Jeff Hoffman.
Oh, okay.
Reason why I'm giving it to Jeff Hoffman is he came in the 9th and shut out the Twins after getting absolutely destroyed. That bounce back was so important for the Toronto Blue Jays to win this series, because losing this series after winning first game against Ryan would have been a total disaster. So getting the win, and for Hoffman after, I would say probably his worst closing attempt of the season, made a huge bounce back. So that is my player of the game. But Lane, you had a completely different player of the game than me.
Well, yeah, getting a save is cute, but you got to have the lead to be able to get the save. And I'm going to give this to Ty France, one of the newer Blue Jays, one of the guys they actually picked up at the trade deadline. And, he came in big there in the 8th inning, coming off the bench in relief as a pinch hitter and getting his first home run as a Blue Jay to get them back in this game. Me and Dan were at Chuck's tonight watching this game with the fans there, watching it with the patrons at the bar. And this game was a battle. It was a lot of, oh, yeah, it sounded like a donkey, not like that sense, but it was crazy. It was a lot of like, oh, yay!
It was a great atmosphere there for sure.
There was more yays when Ty France was able to get that home run, get the Jays in it. Their former pitcher, Genesis Cabrera, really struggled after that home run. The Jays kind of found their bats. They found their confidence. They started hitting balls really hard to left field, getting in the bases, started making them shaky. They had to take up their pitcher. started getting the boys rolling. So that like I said, Jeff Hoffman getting the save is cute, but you got to get the lead to get the save. So I'm giving it to Ty France.
Now, Mr. Morfor, you had even a different player of the game than Lane and I did.
Well, yeah, you stole mine, so I'm going to steal yours. I think the player of the game is Dave Snyder.
I never said Davis Schneider was my player of the game.
Well, I said Hoffman was my player of the game off camera.
You actually said it was Schneider off camera. Get wrecked.
No, that's what Lane told me to say. But anyway, so now I'm agreeing with Lane. Snyder there hit 2 home runs, which is amazing because he's not really known as a power hitter. I mean, before this game, he only had 8 home runs all year. Now, mind you, he only played about 60 games. I guess that's pretty good. But now he made 10. So you got Joel Springer hitting 2 home runs last night, Snyder hitting 2 home runs tonight. It's great. And I just want to add Lane's comment about Chuck's there. It's amazing, Jays, this year what the atmosphere brings in. Before, you're at a bar last year, Jays came out the background, no one even paid attention. Now, everyone, even the staff of that bar, was paying attention. So
people were literally coming out of the back. You saw like people washing dishes and they'd be like, oh, what's
literally, exactly. Yeah. Like it's just nice to see the country, not just the city of Toronto, but the country of Canada. Well, sorry, supporting for Blue Jays. And just add a quick little note, everyone supported them so much that the Toronto Zoo actually got 2 bulls today. And they named them 1 Blue and 1 Jay. So very cool.
That was cool. I just saw that.
For a bull cows or something like that.
Okay, but I'm going to bring us back to reality a little bit. Yes,
here we go.
It's very nice and all fine and dandy that the Blue Jays won today. This was a sweepable series. With after beating Ryan, it should have been a sweep. With not getting the sweep, the Red Sox are now only 4 games behind.
That's the problem.
This lead, and Craig, I know you and I have kind of bickered on this a little. I'm going to say bickered because I don't think Craig and I could ever fight. We would just kiss and make up. But, we've talked about how there's up and downs in baseball and blah, blah, blah. But the Jays are now 5-5 in their last 10. And if you only go 500 over a 10-game span, that's probably not going to hold the division with the Red Sox 4 games and the Yankees 4.5. Like, Craig, I know before you didn't agree with me, but do you really feel now the Jays are expected to win the division, leading the division towards the end of August, going into September?
Oh, yeah, you're definitely going to feel the heat right to the end with the Red Sox and the Yankees nipping at you. But at the end of the day, like, they've been winning series, like 2 of 1, other than Pittsburgh and LA. Their last 5 or 6 series, they've won them. But my question is like, why is Lauer still starting? I thought he was going to go to the bullpen.
So I thought he was going to go down to AAA.
Now, his last 4 or 5 have been iffy starts.
So I think
last 2 or 3.
So the idea that they said was they just want to get everybody going because Bieber just got back, so they don't want to give him too much work and then have him off the bullpen. So they're just like, well, we got a big lead. Let's roll all 6 pitchers and let's see who the dream rotation is, and then maybe in a week or 2 we'll refine it.
But to me, this is exactly why, and I'm going to say this, I've never liked Schneider as a manager. He doesn't have a pair of balls. Grow a pair, pick your 5, because all of a sudden you're a quote-unquote big lead on the division. You're a bad series away from not winning the division right now.
Yes, yeah.
And if this team does not win the division, their road to the playoffs becomes so much harder because they're a mediocre team on the road. They are very good at home. We have seen that all year. They're 44 and 22 at home. They are 34 and 34 on the road. I think playing at home is critical for this team.
I agree, yeah.
So you need to win the division. And like what Craig said, you're going to feel the Red Sox and the Yankees breathing down your spine. And I'm going to say this too. I think it's a failure if the Jays don't win the division where they're going into September with the division lead.
No, it's not locked up because you still got to play the Yankees first series and you got to play the Red Sox first series.
And the Yankees are remembering how to hit again. All of a sudden, they're 7-3 in their last 10. They've just dominated the Orioles. The Red Sox are 6-4 in their last 10. So all of a sudden, like I said, the Jays, and they got a tough series coming up. So Yeah, it's great that they won the series. It's great that they had a come from behind win. But I felt this was a sweepable series, and they let the last game let game 2 get away. So if I had to give the team a grade over this series, which I'm going to do that because I can, I'm only going with a B. Yeah, they won the series, but I think it could have been a sweep, especially considering the bullpen completely blew it in game 2.
So, Jacob, I'll be honest. I'm kind of in the middle here. I was telling this to Dan earlier. She was scaring me, but then I see, like, you know what they did tonight, right? Like, I'll be honest, I was sitting at the bar watching this game, and I was like, they're going to lose, and I'm going to be coming on here screaming and being like, you know what, the season's over. Pack it up. Let's, forget about it. But, this team, at the end of the day, this team is resilient, and I'll give them that. This team, at least on the batting side of it, this team really never gives up at all. And I'll give them 100% credit. It feels like whenever they go up to bat, who's ever going up there, whether it's Ty France, whether it's Jimenez, whether it's Springer, Varsho, Nathan Lukes, this team never gives up. They always believe they can come back down 10-0, down 15-0, down 4-1 in the 9th inning. This team truly believes that they're going to come back and win. And that's the one thing that I think, that's the one reason I still have faith, is because when they go up to the plate, they still believe they're going to win every game. And I got to give them a confidence on that.
I'm not disagreeing with you that this team has a lot of heart. I think they do. I think this team is the best version of this group we have seen.
100%.
But with the Yankees collapse and the Red Sox being so slow out the gate and the Jays having that huge winning streak, if you don't win the division with all those things in your favor, it's not. Now, again, as long as you win, if you don't win the division, but you win the first 2 rounds, you win the wild card and you win the next, well, it didn't really matter that you didn't win the division as much anymore. But if you go in, you're sleepy for a series in the wild card and all of a sudden you're out, which is what they've done in the past. And like, what just concerns me is, so they have the Brewers starting on my birthday. Happy birthday. Ho, ho, ho. And that's a very good team, right? That's a very, very good team. Then you have the Reds. Then you have the Yankees in New York. Well, New York has 4 games against the White Sox coming up. The way they're playing, that's a very good chance that's a sweep, because like they just demolished the Nationals. Then they have the Astros. So that's a tough series.
Right.
But my concern is you could be going into that Yankees-Jays series tied.
Yeah,
and that could be. And again, you're just going to look back at this Minnesota Twins series and the Marlins series and the Pirates series, and you're going to be like, look, if you could have either swept the Pirates or won the Miami series, because you lost that series to Miami, a team that you should not have lost to.
Right, yeah.
Well, sorry, no, they didn't lose that series. They won 2, lost 1. But if you were able to sweep either the Pirates, the Marlins, or the Twins, you might not be going into this situation with the Yankees. And especially this Twins one, I really thought when they won the first game and Ryan had such an off, funny enough, Joe Ryan did not pitch very well. I really thought the Jays had a very good chance to sweep the series. And I can't help feeling a little disappointed at the end of this, just because of the situation they got in the start, and then they let the second game slip away. Yes, they fought back in the second game, but at the end of the day, I don't really know if character fighting back to lose is good enough in August. Maybe that's fine in June. I don't know if that's okay in August.
Well,
and I also agree with Chazzy. I don't know why they're running 6 starting pitchers. I think it just screws up your rotation. Yeah. And you just got to pick your 5 and let them cook.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Lane's comment, because when we were at the bar, that's what I was saying. Because Lane's like, oh, we're done. I'm like, yeah, but the thing of this team is they never give up. They, always just fall back in that second game. Yeah, but made it 7-5. Right? At one point it was, 7-4, I guess. Whatever. At least they got 1 extra one, So I like the fact this team doesn't give up. I agree, Jacob, like you're saying. It's, depending. I think it really comes down to his Milwaukee series. It's just, unfortunately, they had to come down to his Milwaukee series. If you got 3 extra wins going into his Milwaukee series, then you would have had a pretty good August. But
Milwaukee's good,
depending how his Milwaukee series goes, you just had a mediocre August.
Dan,
They're
I'm going to
very
call
good.
it. This has not been a good August. For how good June and July were,
Right.
like, let's actually go back and look at August.
For only
And
20 wins away from my 98 wins, though.
I don't really care. The problem is, again, but if you get 98 and the Yankees get 99, then 98 wasn't good enough.
99, no, 99.
Right? So we go back and we look at August. And August has been a very weird month. So you lose the series to the Royals to start, a so-so team, but let's be honest, one you should probably beat.
Yeah.
Then this Rockies series, you blow the Rockies' doors off. Then you lose against the Dodgers.
Which was
You lose that series. Pardon, Lane?
That was expected.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it wasn't expected considering you had 2 out of 3 games you didn't show up. No, that wasn't expected for me. Losing 5-1 and 9-1, that's not expected. And for, again, Jays fans to be okay with that, this is why I think there's a problem with the Jays fan base, and I'm calling it out.
Well, they could have had game 1 in that series.
They lost 5-1. Don't tell me they could have had that game.
Well, it was close into the end. They blew it at the end.
Scoring 1 run is not good enough. Especially after you scored like a bazillion against the Rockets a series before, the Rockies.
But having a 6-man roster right now may help you, but I just don't think Lauer right now, after his like 5-6 starts, like
he should be sent down to AAA to get his game back. And this is the perfect time to bring up Manoah and give him a shot. I'm serious. But when we're looking at August, it's not been great. The Cubs series, okay, you won the Cubs series. Then you lose the Rangers series. Then you use the Padres series. Then you win the Padres series, but it's a series that actually you lost the Pirate series. Sorry, you lost the Pirate series. Then you win the Miami series, but it could have been a sweep. And you lose and you win the Twin series, but that could have been a sweep. You're about to go into August potentially under 500 for the month of August.
Yeah, it's concerning.
I'm sorry, that's not good enough. We talked about August baseball being so critical. And yeah, it was great that the Jays could have basically had the division locked up by now. Especially, I think August you faced more weak opponents than good opponents.
Right.
And Craig, I get what you're saying. Some of these games, like sure, the game against the first game in the Dodgers series, that was 5-1. Yeah, sure, it was close until the 7th. But maybe if the offense woke up a little bit, you know what? The 7th inning wouldn't have been such a disaster, and you could have got it done. And it's another one, again, where your pitching the problem is the Jays are starting to do what they did last year. You're having games where not all 3 phases are coming into play. Even the series against the Twins, the game you lost, the offense was pretty good. Starter was good. Bullpen sucked.
It did, yeah.
So I'm really looking at September, and I think September is going to be a lot harder because you got the Reds, Yankees, and Astros. So the Astros and the Yankees are very, very good clubs.
Is that the end of the season in September?
And Cincinnati is just over 500. You're playing 3 good clubs to start September. And a good club to finish August. I'm just saying, I just hope Jays fans aren't just, we made the playoffs. Yay. If this was Leaf fans, they'd be flipping out right now. Like Dan, picture if this was the Toronto Maple Leafs. They had like a 15-point lead on the division, and all of a sudden in the last month they have a 4-point lead on the division.
Yeah.
Like I told you before on the island,
Lane would be setting all his clothes on fire. Craig would be running out of popcorn because he'd be making too many, and I'd just be banging my head through one of my wood paneled walls in my basement. Yes, I have wood paneled walls in my basement.
I can't believe you admitted that on the air.
Oh, of course. I'm not ashamed.
Okay. Well, you actually like them. That's a funny thing.
They're gorgeous.
I know. I don't know who on earth keeps those besides you. But anyway, that's all fun. But I said it before. I'll say it again. Like, my expectations of the Blue Jays are not as high as Maple Leafs at this point.
No, the difference is you don't like the Leafs, a lot of the players that they brought in, so you go on and on about them. But because you like Bo Bichette and Vladdy and Springer, you won't call them out the same way that you call out Nylander, Matthews. Well, not even Nylander, because you love Nylander. You won't call them out the same way you'll call out Austin Matthews. Well, not even Nylander, because you love Nylander. You won't call them out the same way that you call out Nylander. You won't call them out the same way you'll call out Austin Matthews. You won't call them out the same way you'll call out Austin Matthews. You won't call them out the same way you'll call out Austin Matthews. Like you go on Austin Matthews had a terrible season. He was on pace for over 100 points. Yeah, you say Vladdy's worth $500 million when he's not even in the top 10 in home runs.
Whoa, you gotta admit.
No, not bro. You got to admit. I got to admit
Matthews
nothing.
Went from 69 goals to like what, 35?
On pace for just under
That's
50.
like half, bro.
Well, then why, when Ovechkin did it, you said it was fine? I'm sick of your double standards.
And Ovechkin is the leading goal scorer of all time.
He
bro.
wasn't at that
He's
point.
He's got his Stanley Cup.
He wasn't
He's
at that
got
point.
his
He
NHL
didn't at that
records.
point.
He's done something. What has Matthews done
What,
besides
Dan?
lose?
When Ovechkin had those off seasons before, he hadn't done anything. Yeah, now you could say that of Ovechkin as an off year because he's only won one cup, by the way, which for a quote unquote first ballot Hall of Famer, that's not. I don't even think Ovechkin should be a first time ballot Hall of Famer.
What?
I'm calling that out.
That's crazy.
Oh my God!
To put him in the same category as Sidney Crosby, Hall of Famer. If we go on, Stanley Cups matter so much in the Hall of Fame. Then how can you put Sidney Crosby, a multiple Stanley Cup winner, a multiple gold medal winner, a multiple World Junior winner, a multiple Captain Canada winner, to Ovechkin, who's won one Stanley Cup and one gold medal?
And broke Wayne Gretzky's record.
Oh, so Sidney Crosby's also broke Wayne Gretzky's record for
not the record, though.
An even harder record to break, I would argue, the most point per game seasons in NHL history. That is a harder record to break because you got to do it every year, every single year.
But come on, the goal record, Jacob. Hockey.
No, honestly, he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I don't think he should be.
Well, then you're nuts.
Fine, I'm nuts. A guy that's won one Stanley Cup. He has all these me records, but where are his team accomplishments?
Just different style players.
I'm waiting. What has he done since Braden Holtby left Washington?
Nothing. Besides,
what awards has he won?
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know how we went from Toronto Blue Jays to this, but we did.
I was just going to say the same thing. I don't know what you were thinking here.
Well, no, but it's just that you have these expectations you have your expectations set so low for a Jays team that has consistently failed. And I'm sick and tired of failure because this is the year where you have a contract in Bo Bichette that's coming up to an end. So it's a time that you could make a change. Mind you, I think maybe they jumped the gun on signing Vladdy because I think right now Bichette's a better player.
Yeah.
Can make that argument.
I'm sorry. And I think, actually, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for our first gas or ass of the night. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. has not lived up to his contract whatsoever.
Gas.
I'm saying gas. Why ask, Craig? No, but what stats does he have that puts him more? So you're telling me he's worth more than Aaron? He's worth Aaron Judge money.
He's an absolute all-time leader. Look at him on first base. The plays, like, are you kidding me? The leadership that shines on the field on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, stats, whatever. But you try and find a player that's going to lead that locker room the way he does day in and day out.
Yeah.
No.
I argue George Springer leads that locker room, not Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
I agree with Chazzy. His ass. You even look at the at the dugout. Is Vladdy as always he's cheering the guys up? Is Vladdy always he's congratulating?
Okay, then go hire a cheerleader.
What?
Go hire a cheerleader.
And don't forget, Jacob. Aaron Judge makes $800 million, and Vladdy only makes $500 million.
Only $500 million. Poor muffin.
I'm just saying, in baseball terms, right? Like, it's not. Maybe Aaron Judge is not quite 800, but he's definitely more than 500. I think he's around 700 million. But you know,
360 million over 9 years.
Well, Vladdy was 500 over 15, so you're actually paying Judge more money because Judge is over 40 million a year, and Vladdy's about 30 million a year, roughly.
I don't know. I'm just having a hard time with what Vladdy Guerrero Jr. has been accomplishing. He's making $39 million per year, where Aaron Rodgers is making $40 million a year. And right now, I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers for an extra $1 million.
I actually like Vladdy. I really like what Vladdy does to the team.
Well, I'm not saying I dislike Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
The thing is, look who's winning the games. Yeah, has Aaron Judge got more home runs?
Dan?
Sure.
Okay,
but
talk to me at the end of September when the Jays blow this division. Talk to me when they go out in the first round again. If these things happen,
yeah, that'd be a different conversation.
And tell me that this contract was worth the money. This might be a contract 5 years down the road. We're just like, oh, good Lord.
For sure, that'd be a different conversation. But as of now, on August 28th, 12:05 a.m., it's a good contract.
It's not with what he's producing.
But you got more than just on. The thing is, Jake, if you say that, he's not getting home runs, but he's getting the wins. And he even said that in previous episodes of the Island that Vladdy is now hitting for more base hits and stuff to get the victory over being the all-star home run hero. It's like
I understand that, Dan, but that's not worth. And again, if this right now, though, the way he played in August was not good enough, and you need better from him in September, I don't cry me a river.
And the thing is, too, you look at Vladdy, I'm sure if there would have been about 31 other teams in the MLB that would have offered him more than $500 million.
I don't think so.
I do. I know the Yankees want to offer him more money.
I don't believe that.
It makes sense, though. Yankees spend the most money. They need a better first baseman.
Look, I'm not saying Vladdy Guerrero Jr. is not a good player. He is a very good player. But as of right now, what he's on pace to do is not enough for what you're paying him. Yes, he's very good defensively. He's probably going to win a Golden Glove. But I would argue he's not even the best player on the team.
So he's a Golden Glover with almost a 300 batting average, 20-plus home runs, and 60-plus RBIs. And
21 home runs. That's barely.
What else do you want?
Personally, I want upwards towards 90 to 100 RBIs right now from him.
Because I agreed with you in previous episodes, Jacob. I said, yeah, I even said on trade deadline here in the Island, I wish the Jays got a power hitter. But then you point out yourself, sir, Jacob, that you don't need a power hitter because guys like Vladdy, Bull, Swinger, all of them, they all have lower numbers this year than last year. But what the difference is? They got more wins. Way more wins. They only got 74 wins last year in the whole year. Now we're not even at the end of August yet. We're at 78.
Look, I get it. I get what you're saying.
That's crazy when you actually think about that.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Well, then why is your expectation? Okay, but Dan, I'm going to flip your own words then. You're going on this team so great, even though we have a potential to have a 500 August. Which August is the most important, is so much more important than June and July.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm crazy when I want better out of them when they don't play well?
You want a better August.
I want more out of these players. I want more out of Vladdy Guerrero Jr. I want more out of this bullpen. And you go on, oh, well, you should be happy. They're having a better year than last year. Well, then, Dan, you should have been thrilled with the Leafs because they won one more playoff game than last year. Let's plan the parade.
Well, it is a step in the right direction.
Oh, my gosh. Someone get this man the Kool-Aid. It's going to plow through his open door, even with the tie on the doorknob.
I'm not happy about the Leafs. When you think about it, they took the Stanley Cup
Game 7. Dan, I got to stop you here. Nobody cares.
Okay, Dan, the Montreal Canadiens then are the best team in the world because they took Washington to 5 games, and Washington was the best team in the league in the second best team in the regular season. Therefore, Montreal was as good as the second best team in the NHL by your theory.
In comparison to Montreal not even making the playoffs last year, the year before, last year was a success.
Montreal, yes. For the Jays, if they don't win the division and then they have a bad playoff, this year is a failure.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
right now, they're on the cusp. They've been so streaky. If they can just get hot for September, then this whole conversation potentially might not matter.
Right.
Just saying, you can't. I don't agree with the double standard in the 6. Where they have the Leafs on this one pedestal of if it's either Stanley Cup or bust, no matter how good or bad the roster is. I remember people talking about they were going to win a Stanley Cup when they got Phil Kessel and Dion Phaneuf. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays can have Bichette, Guerrero, Scherzer, Gosman, Hoffman, Kirk, Springer, Badger. The list goes on, and everyone's fine if they just make it to the wild card.
Well, I do think the reason is, as much as Jacob, you're not going to like this.
And don't say it's because they won a World Series in '93.
That's not what I was going to say.
Unless that's what I hear a lot.
No, I think the reason is just, and again, you're not going to like it. It's just the truth, right? Hockey is a Canadian cultured game, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and I actually did say this to my friend. It is funny how, when the Leafs could honestly lose every game for the next 3 years, and you'll go to Scotiabank and the tickets will still be $500, and the house will be packed. If the Jays go 2 games under 500, people go, nah.
Exactly.
The tickets are $4. They'll go,
yeah.
Nah, screw this.
Yeah.
I'd rather go get a chocolate bar at the candy store. It's crazy to me. They'll be like 1 game under 500. I don't want to go to the Jays game. These guys suck. But the Leafs could lose. Leafs could be, at least we're under 5. At least we're like not even a playoff team from like 2004 to 2013. And yet, Leafs tickets are sellouts. It's a sellout.
Because you know why?
Well, it's hockey culture in Canada versus
it's
baseball
a culture thing. It's not just a hockey culture. It's because the Maple Leafs are the Mecca. It's like when you go to Toronto, what do you have to do? If someone comes to Toronto, what do they have to do? They have to go to a Leaf game.
No.
If someone comes from China to New
York,
York, what do they have to do?
You're telling me
Yankees game.
No. You're in Toronto. I'm sorry. If you're a tourist, you don't give 2 craps about sports. You care about going to the CN Tower way more than you do going to a Leaf game.
Hey, man.
We're not going to start a protest on the Striggers Island podcast. But, Lane, I get what you're saying, but we're supposed to hold ourselves to a higher standard than the average sports fan. And because people listen to us for some crazy reason, because we're nuts and we're entertaining. I just looked at this Jays team. September is critical, and the start of September is absolutely critical.
I have a question.
You could have went into this Brewers series in a good position where even if you lose the series, you're okay. If you lose this series and the Yankees destroy the White Sox, which they probably will, you could be only half a game behind. The Yankees might only be half a game behind you when you go into your series against Cincinnati. We're just winning that series 2-1 won't be good enough. And then you face the Yankees in New York with these bats who have woken up. All of a sudden, you're not first in the division anymore, and you're in a wild card best of 3. You lose 1 series in 3 games, and you're packing your bags early, and it didn't. And everything you did in June meant absolutely nothing because of the screw up of August.
Right.
It's true.
I do have a question. Does the regular season go to the end of September, or does it end in mid-September? I think it ends
September 28th.
Also goes all the way right to the end.
And you still play the Yankees and the Red Sox both in September.
Those are going to be crucial.
That's what I'm saying. If you could have basically put the division away in August. You really could have.
And you failed.
Yeah. So now you're into September, and it is absolutely critical to have a not just a good September. August, they had to consistently go 6-4, and so far they haven't done that. Now, if they win the series against the Brewers, then all of a sudden, the 6-4 consistency's back. If you don't, then all of a sudden you're going into September running 500 and doing with the Yankees and the Red Sox, especially the Yankees finding their game again. You're in a lot of trouble with a group that isn't used to being this group's not used to being in pressure in September because usually their season's done by now.
I have a gas to ask.
Well,
Gasso asks, when the island first started and the MLB season wasn't even a thing, I had an estimation, hey, Jays are going to win 98 games in the season. We are August 28th. Jacob said the season ends in September 28th. We're 30 days away, and Jays got the 78th win tonight. we're only 20 wins away from 98 wins. Gasso asks, will the Jays make 98 wins?
Ass.
Yes.
Okay, well.
Dan, the math just doesn't match.
I am a believer.
They basically would have to go like over every 10. They'd have to go like 8-2. And they're playing too many good, and like they don't seem to show up sometimes against the bad teams. And now you have some really good teams coming up.
Yeah.
Your next 3 series are all against over 500 clubs.
Now, the Jays have a tendency of playing bad against the bad teams and better against the good teams.
Which can be the big difference between winning and losing the division in the AL.
100%, yeah.
Especially the AL East. But
so still no 98 wins. Wow.
No. But I do want to move on to the Canadian Football League. And it's been a busy week in football. So Toronto has made the most moves. They've been very busy.
Yeah.
They brought back Makai Polk, who was their Rookie of the Year nominee at over 1,000 yards last year.
He should have won it.
And he was waived by the Falcons. They also added both Sanders brothers to their negotiation list. So depending on what happens with Shador and Shiloh Sanders, potentially those guys could be coming to the CFL. Toronto Argos did also sign Dre Doiron, Joe Wallace, and Max Duggan. I'm very curious about this Max, as he was the runner-up for the Heisman Award.
Wow.
Played for the Battlehawks last year in the XFL. Had some good moments, had some bad moments. I don't think this is a guy that you're looking at for this year. This is a guy you're maybe looking at next year, because let's be honest, there are a lot of question marks in the Argonauts quarterback room for next season.
That's for sure. Yeah.
There is.
Like because we don't know. This team very well could move on from Chad Kelly and want to bring in some young guys.
Oh yeah, but I'm going to say Nick Arbuckle's definitely your starter.
Unless the team offers him more money than you're willing to pay him.
True.
I could still see the Argos keeping Chad Kelly instead of going for Nick, and letting Nick Arbuckle walk. I wouldn't agree with it at this point.
Yeah.
But I could see them doing it. Now, this Joe Wallace, he's a guy that might get in like now, because they just cut Jordan Williams, and this Joe Wallace, the defensive lineman's a big dude. I believe he's another XFL guy. Played very, very well in the years past. I could see him actually getting into the Argos lineup. Probably not this week, but maybe next week. Makai Polk, from his interview, is getting in the lineup this week.
And did you see the splash the Argos made on social media too, welcoming Polk back to the lineup, which is awesome marketing from them. So I think having Polk as a weapon for Labor Day is massive boost against the Ticats.
How much salary? How much salary cap does the Argos have?
Well, so that's the weird thing with the CFL. They don't actually make all the salaries public, and same with the cap space. So we're not. I believe this is why they cut a couple. They traded Mark Milton, and they cut Jordan Williams. Like Makai Polk will still be on a rookie contract, so he won't be making a lot. Mm-hmm. Same with this Wallace, because he'll be only being played on a half season. The reason why I'm so curious about this Wallace, he played for the DC Defenders, where in 2023 he had 21 tackles and 2.5 sacks. Over 3 seasons with DC Defenders, he had 65 tackles, 7 sacks, and an interception, and was named an All-Star in 2025. So this past season. I think the Argos may have got a bit of a secret weapon. And Ralph Holloway did also get cut a couple days ago. He still could be becoming available. Now, Winnipeg also made some moves, as we talked about, the 2 receivers they brought in.
Well, Chazzy's got his hand up.
What's up, Chazzy?
At the beginning of the season, CFL season, when they're doing all the signings, were we not discussing what they were getting and talking salary cap?
Yeah, some salaries do get leaked. But like the teams in the league do not have to. You know, in the NHL, we know what every player makes. We know what everyone's cap hit is. We don't know in the CFL. We kind of know roughly.
But there's a cap in the CFL.
Towards the top of the salary cap. We know that. No, you can
But there's
also
a hard
go
cap
over.
in the CFL,
No, you can go over, but then there's a penalty.
but you don't know that.
We won't know until the off season.
Got it.
So the Argos could go over the cap, and if they do, then they'll be giving up like their first round draft pick for next year. Which could be why maybe they know they're going over, and that's why they're trying to bring in some guys in free agency. Because to your about the free agent window, I believe closes, in 2 weeks.
That's a significant penalty. You look at how good Alfred is in Calgary, for example, considering how bad the Argos are doing. They have the potential of getting a first overall pick.
What's the chances of Sanders being your QB? He's going to want $1 million, is he not?
Right now it's low because he's still on the Browns roster. The Browns did not cut him. All this means is if he leaves the NFL and wants to come to the CFL, the Argos own his rights to try to sign him before anyone else does. This doesn't mean he will come to the Toronto Argonauts. This is just their negotiation list.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to add, each team adds, I believe, 10 players from NCAA to their negotiation list or the NFL.
But that's
so, like, for example, the BC Lions have owned Kaepernick's negotiation rights for 4 years. But he's not going to come to, I would be absolutely shocked if he came to the CFL, right? But that's how the negotiation works. If he decided to go to the CFL, the BC Lions would have the rights to sign him first.
But right now, the Cleveland hasn't made an announcement on him.
Right now, Sanders he's on the roster. They're going to keep, they cut Vito, I believe it was, and they've kept Sanders on the roster. They saw enough in the preseason to see his potential. Personally, I think it's insane he slipped as low down on the draft as he did in the NFL, and I think they got I think if they can control the ego a little bit, I do think they have a very good quarterback. But we also know in the CFL, for example, the Argos don't mind bringing in a bit of a project.
Right, yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys heard Chad Kelly's comments the other day.
That was crazy.
In an interview on, I can't remember the name of the podcast, so I apologize.
No, it's Milt Steagle's podcast.
No, it wasn't Milt Steagle's podcast. Milt Steagle just commented on it.
Oh, okay.
What did he say?
Chad Kelly says he is a top 32 quarterback in the NFL.
What?
And my resume speaks for itself.
So has Chad Kelly played in the NFL?
No. He was drafted. He was like Mr. Irrelevant because of his issues in college. And when Chad Kelly says his resume speaks for itself, like Chad Kelly is a very good quarterback. He has a good resume. But he also has a lot of blemishes on his resume. He has the suspension. He has the injury problems. He has the playoff game where he couldn't figure out what team he was throwing the ball to. Like, Chad Kelly's CFL career has been very up and down. And personally, I'm just going to say, as an Argo fan, I'm like, get your head out of your butt and stop caring if people think you're good enough to play in the NFL or not. Just get ready to play here.
Why wouldn't you just say I'm a top 5 in the CFL? Why does he have to bring the NFL in if he's never played?
And I think that's what bothers people too. Like, this Canadian Football League fans are sick and tired of hearing about, well, NFL this and NFL that. It's like, no, we're fans of this league for a reason.
I think technically what he said was that he was a top. He didn't say NFL. That's just his quote. He said he's a top 32 quarterback in the world.
He said NFL.
In the world?
I heard world, but
no, okay. Milt Steagle said world. And Milt Steagle basically said, I don't know what world Chad Kelly's living in, but hopefully in that world I can grow my hair back.
Yeah, I heard that part of it too, yes.
Like, Chad Kelly has said this in multiple interviews, by the way, before, that he's good enough to be in the NFL. And maybe he is. We've made this argument before. I would take Vernon Adams Jr. over Daniel Jones any day of the week. I'm just calling it. But at the same time, Vernon Adams Jr., who might win MLP this year, isn't going out on interviews saying, well, I'm the best, they're in the top 232 quarterbacks in the world. He's just going out there and doing his job. Right? And Chad Kelly right now, and I understand he's had the injury problems, but right now, if he was healthy, I don't even think he would be Toronto's starter.
I mean, let's be honest here. I think he's got a point. I mean, I would rather have Chad Kelly on my NFL team than Jones.
What?
Not right now. Chad Kelly's not healthy.
I know,
And
but
that's not what I want
he
him
went to a
focusing on.
16-2 season. We threw over 5,000 yards.
He hasn't thrown an NFL football.
Like, here's my
Yeah, he
argument about
didn't
this.
call it.
You guys always call out Kenny Lawler for being like, "Whoa,
I'm calling out Chad Kelly too, though, Lane.
No, I
It's
know.
just
I'm
Dan who won't.
talking to Dan. I'm just talking to Dan.
Oh, I agree. I don't like the comment Chad Kelly said. I think it was not just the comment, but what Jacob said, it was the timing. The fact that he hasn't played all year when he's been medical cleared. Now, mind you, in his defense, I don't know how he's medically cleared because I saw him, as we know, Jacob and I have season tickets for the Argos, and we sit right behind the Argos bench. So I seen Chad Kelly walk on the Argos bench, and he's still limping. So I don't know how he's medical cleared while he's still limping, but I don't have a doctor. I don't have a DR on my credit card, so I can't comment on it. But let's be honest there, I don't get it. But he shouldn't be saying that comment when he's not playing and he has so much controversy. He's just it's adding fuel to the fire at this point. I hate to say it. And I think that's the gamble athletes sometimes take when they go on these podcasts and stuff, because it's not scripted like TV as raw footage, which makes it so great. But when it's so great, you're taking a gamble on what comes out, right? And multiple times, Chad Kelly has been known for not saying the right thing. So maybe he should be a little more careful in thinking when he's interviewing, right? I mean, he was all bad-mouthing Nathan Lork against BC, and even though I find it entertaining, and I get it because York was very critical on Chad Kelly for these suspensions, I try to understand why Chad Kelly did it, but I probably would have done the same thing. But at the end of the day, he's standing there on the bench, and Nathan York has had a pretty reasonable season.
Well, and again, and Dan's referring to here during the Argos-Lions game, Chad Kelly was chirping the BC Lions bench saying, "That's 50, that's 50, that's 50."
Because 50 Cent performed at the BC home opener.
I understand that, and it's one thing when teams do it on social media because they're trying to get that viral clip. I understand that.
Well, sir.
But at the same time, it's like, why are you adding fuel to the fire to a team they got to play again in 2 to 3 weeks? I honestly like Chad. I just sometimes think he needs to learn to shut up.
And that's the argument of Nick.
I think it's time that, yeah, well, I think the Argos are just going to move on to Nick Arbuckle for the future if he continues to play like he is. But, and interestingly enough, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers might be finding themselves a new young quarterback. Taylor Elgersma, who was runner-up in the Vanier Cup last year, was waived by the Green Bay Packers. A lot of people thought he was going to be going to their practice squad. He did not. Now, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers selected him in the draft. By the way, Taylor actually put up some pretty decent NFL numbers in the preseason, led multiple successful drives, high completion percentage, couple touchdowns. He actually looked pretty good. I don't think this is a guy that you're going to see play in Winnipeg this year necessarily, but maybe Winnipeg is happy to be like, okay, we have another quarterback in our system. That was Zach Calero's getting older. We have a guy that I think can step in.
Did he get an invite to the practice squad?
Surprisingly, no. Which is, in my opinion, very surprising. He's the first quarterback to play in a Canadian university getting NFL preseason reps since I think it was 83.
Yeah, it was a long time.
So maybe another team might pick him up.
Well, and that could still happen. I don't think he's going to run to the CFL just yet. He's only 23.
Mm-hmm.
So he
had a good camp, I thought.
He did. And that's what I'm surprised about. Not that he had a good camp, but I'm surprised that Green Bay decided just to cut him.
For sure. That is very strange.
Yeah, I wonder if someone's going to pick him up.
Because Green Bay is almost kind of in the same situation they were in before. They had Brett Favre, who was a franchise quarterback and got old. And then they had Aaron Rodgers. And then, Aaron Rodgers got old. they had Jordan Love, and now Jordan Love's been there forever. Now he's getting old. And it's like Green Bay has a bad tendency of letting the franchise quarterbacks get old before they find the next replacement.
I disagree with you on that. I think Green Bay has pretty much played it perfect. They let Aaron Rodgers go to his darkness retreat before he got too dark, and then they had Jordan Love ready to go.
That's
and
a
Jordan
10
Love's
win,
not very
10
old.
win plus season, Aaron Rodgers.
But Taylor, he finished with a 69.6 passing completion, 166 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interception with a QB rating of 104.6.
That's pretty good.
It just really surprises me because he put up better numbers than some of the quarterbacks in their room. So I honestly thought he was going to at least make the practice roster for sure, because I think he's got some talent. And just to go over his numbers we played for Wilfrid Laurier. He threw for 11,547 yards, 78 touchdowns, 33 interceptions in 41 games.
Oh, 41 games.
Yeah, it's over his career. But top of that, he also had
one season.
He also had 605 rushing yards and 18 rushing touchdowns. So this is a guy that's very mobile. You know what? He almost won a Vanier Cup.
Yeah.
And even in his last season in university football, he threw for 3,765 yards, 32 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, and 6 rushing touchdowns for 223 yards.
That's very important.
He won the MVP, offensive player, won multiple offensive player of the game, 2-time OUA MVPs, and second team All-Canadian. Like he's had a very good college career in Canada. And this is a kid that he's not just mobile, like he can actually throw the ball. So I think if you're the Blue Bombers, you're really talking to this guy being like, look, if the NFL doesn't work out, there's a route here for you to become a starting quarterback.
Oh, for sure.
Because he's young, right? So I think I agree with you, Craig. I don't think he's going to run to the CFL this year. I think he's going to try to get on another NFL practice roster because I'm sure spots will come available. Yeah. But I do think you could see him eventually getting a chance in the CFL if the NFL route doesn't work.
And I just got... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Craig.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to say quickly, people don't... Unfortunately, Canada as a whole doesn't talk about it enough. But you got to give the Vanier Cup a lot of credit. Jacob and I have watched the Vanier Cup final game the last couple of years.
Good football.
It's phenomenal football. And... I agree with Jacob. It's bad marketing. It's not on the same weekend as the Grey Cup. I think if they hosted the same city Grey Cup on the Saturday, it would do way better than the week before. But they do it the week before the Grey Cup. And it's a really entertaining football game. And you don't see too many people in the stands and stuff. I don't get why. It's either college football in America.
It was sold out last year in Kingston.
Oh, maybe I'm crazy then. Okay, so people do give it. I still think more people should give it more attention than what it does get.
Now, do the Canadian university football and the CFL have the same rules?
Yes. Yes, they do. The Vanier Cup will be held in Saskatchewan this year, the week after the Grey Cup.
Oh, after. Oh.
The 60th anniversary.
That'll be very cold. The end of November is Saskatchewan.
Oh, they'll be fine. They're tough young sticks.
I'm
very curious what you guys think about this. Toronto's been very busy. Everyone's been very quiet.
So quiet, but stop talking.
Are we surprised more teams aren't looking at players that have been cut from the NFL right now, looking to add to their rosters in the CFL? Like, I'm kind of surprised that Montreal isn't looking to see if there's a quarterback maybe they can grab.
I'm very surprised.
Or maybe Ottawa isn't looking someone to add to their secondary. Their secondary's been cooked at times this year. Or Winnipeg isn't looking. I know they brought in a couple CFL veteran receivers. Now, mind you, Dalton Schoen might be back this week. But, like, I'm surprised Winnipeg didn't go to maybe look to see if we're a receiver that got cut that's got some talent.
Yeah, I'm very surprised, but... You said earlier was episode, Jacob. I just want to add to what you said. Pinball and the Argos, so I guess Jacob will come back eventually. Pinball and the Argos are known for taking gambles on controversial players and taking gambles just on multiple players in general. Like we've seen with Chad Kelly, for example, gamble. We've also seen the gamble with Ricky Williams when he got cut from the NFL. No one wanted to give him a second chance, and Pinball took a gamble on him. It worked out phenomenal for the Argos. He did win the Grey Cup for the Argos, and he was a big piece of the Argos winning the Grey Cup that year. And just even off the field, Williams said that Pinball really helped save his life. And funny, after he won the Grey Cup, he actually made a comeback to the NFL. So really cool story. So the Argos are known for taking crazy gambles like that. So I'm not surprised that the Argos did as much movement as they did this week, especially Pinball winning the
No,
help.
you're misunderstanding. I'm not surprised Toronto made so many
Well,
moves.
that's why I was just going to finish my sentence. I was just going to say I'm surprised more teams didn't take a page in the Argos books and try to do more, especially in the other teams. You know, their records might be better. They are missing a lot of holes. We've seen, why didn't Saskatchewan, let's be honest, why didn't Saskatchewan get a field goal kicker? I mean, their field goal, you're right, like their field goal kicker has been really struggling. So, yeah, you got an 8-2 record. That's great. But what happens when you're in the Western Conference Final in the fourth quarter and no time on the clock, you need to kick a field goal to win the game? You're going to be crossing a lot of fingers at this point. And same with Montreal. Montreal was a great winning the East by far, and now they ran out quarterbacks. Why didn't they sign the quarterback at Toronto side?
Well, and it's just, I mean, when Montreal has quarterbacks in the room, I just don't know if Jason Ross is willing to use them.
Well,
but
that's another thing, too.
At the end of the day, what the Argos did this week is uncommon in Canadian football, but I like that they went out and have taken some risks. And they went on and tried to bring in some guys with a team that, let's be honest, a team that has struggled this year to still try to salvage the year.
Which gives a lot of credit.
They always say the season doesn't start till Labor Day, and Labor Day is right around the corner. So before we get in those Labor Day games, let's take a look at how our power rankings.
Is Shiloh playing for the Argos?
Who?
Shiloh Sanders. Is he going to sign?
He might not, but he's been added to their negotiation list.
Oh, yeah. And I just follow the gas and ass quickly for the Argos. This gas or ass has the two-parter, so it makes it kind of interesting.
Ooh.
We've talked about on the island in the past. Even Jacob has talked about when the Argos were only 2-8 or some crazy thing like that. Would Pinball's job be on the seat, and is Pinball too nice of a guy? With all the moves Pinball made this week and the last weeks, is this enough to save Pinball's job? Gas or ass?
I'm saying gas for now because I think his job's safe for the season.
I agree with that. I think it's
enough. I don't think this is anything. I don't think these moves will make or break his tenure as a GM whatsoever. Will make or break it is how this team finishes.
Well, I think it's gas because they took the wicks and took the efforts. But
yeah, but if the moves don't work, then it's ass. So what do you think, Lane?
Right.
I'm going to say ass because if it really backfires, you only take, like, I get you want to take risks, but you can only take so many risks before it comes back to bite you, right? Like, and if MLSE, we all know they don't like spending money. And if they keep seeing, Pinball Clemens going, pay this guy and pay this guy, pay this guy, and it's not working out, they're going to start looking at it and be like, what are you actually doing? Like,
the only thing is, I think if you fire Pinball, I think the city of Toronto would erupt.
I'm just saying, but you know what I'm getting at, right? Like,
I do.
At some point, MLSE's got to what? Like, they only have, like, as crazy as it sounds, you only have so much of a budget for the CFL, and if Pinball Clemens is paying this guy for an NFL trial, and this guy for an NFL trial, and this guy for an NFL trial, they're going to start being like, do you know what you're doing, or are you just like throwing darts at a board hoping one hits? And if you
probably me as a GM,
maybe if one season, but if you do it again next season, and you're spending money, then you're cutting them, then you're giving them guaranteed salaries. Eventually, they're going to get tired of that pretty quickly.
What are your thoughts on that, Craig?
I'm just gonna say gas because I do like pinball.
Well, and that's the only thing is it would be very hard to fire Pinball because number one, too, I think he helps put butts in seats.
Oh, for sure.
And I think Pinball, the only
How
way
long
he
has
would
he been
leave-
the GM?
a while now, about 6 years, but he's been part of the
Oh,
Argos.
yeah, only 6?
Well,
but
he
he
was
was a
a
coach.
GM before too. He was a GM during. He took the gamble. Talk about taking gambles. He took the gamble on Wookie Way. We all kind of thought he was nuts by putting
I
Wookie
didn't.
Way in when he was so old
I
and
said
he
it
had
was smart.
injuries, and he won 2 Grey Cups for us. Now, the second part of this Gasso ass is if Pinball's job is safe, because he did all these moves, does this add more heat to Dimwitty's heated seat on his job on the line? Because Pinball's done his job, so now Dimwitty has to do his job. Gasso ass.
I'm going to keep saying ass on the whole Dimwitty situation. I think he'll get this year and probably next year before they really pull any triggers on him. Just because he's won multiple Grey Cups, he's taken them to the Eastern Finals multiple years. I think that holds more weight than when the Leaf fans were wanting all their coaches' heads because they couldn't even get past the first round. Right. The Argos continue to be the standard of the East, and I think they're going to want to see, was this year just a fluke with all the Chad Kelly drama again?
Exactly.
So I'm going to say ass. Yeah, again, Dan. Again, this is 2 straight years of Chad Kelly drama that's really hurt your season.
It's true, Bo. What do you guys think?
I'm going to say gas because if they keep having locker room issues, I don't really care what you did for me. If you don't get the room, I don't want you as the coach. And I'm only going to, if I'm a part of the Argos management, I'm only going to let this go on for so long. If I keep hearing that, this guy's not getting along with this guy, and this guy's showing up in a pissy mood, and this guy's not listening to this coach, and this coach isn't getting it, he keeps going to the media and keep blaming it. I can't have that happen. That becomes a gong show. And that's not the way I want my organization to run. Jacob can say you won the Grey Cup. That's what, we talked about, what have you done for me lately? I don't care. You can't keep going to the season saying, well, you won the Grey Cup 4 years ago, and people are still arguing in the locker room. So I'm going to say gas unless Brian Dinwiddie can prove that he can get this locker room under control, get them back to a part where he can get them into the playoffs, show his leadership. But if he's going to keep running to the media, crying wolf about how players aren't showing up and he's not doing what he needs to do, then I'm saying gas.
Very interesting.
So what are you saying, Chazzy? Like, I know I think you've been kind of neutral on Ryan Dimwitty this year.
So what is there a lot of controversy in the locker room?
Has he lost the room? Drama. There's been 2 times Ryan Dimwitty has gone in the media basically saying some players aren't showing up. But mind you, I haven't disagreed with them. And people praise John Tortorella for doing it, and he's the type of coach that does it. And I actually like that Ryan Dimwitty calls out his players, even when it is public. I actually like it. That's just a personal preference because, and look, ever since he's called them out, even though they weren't winning every game, they started playing a lot better football.
They did. 100%.
But what do you think, Craig?
I wish so it all depends on how you call your players, because look what happened in Dallas when they called out his goalie. So
that was a different situation, though.
Huh?
In my opinion, that was a different situation. So he didn't give them a chance to go back out there and do it again. He pulled them after like 1 goal.
Yeah. Well, my whole point on that is how did he sort of talk to the media? So it's all the tone. So I'm just going to say gas. I'll agree with Lane.
Interesting. Cool.
But I think it's time we move on as we're going into Labor Day weekend. And before we get into the weekend, let's take a quick look at our power rankings again. And when we take a look at the CFL power rankings, we have Calgary sitting at 1, Saskatchewan at 2, Edmonton 3, Hamilton 4, Winnipeg Blue Bombers 5, BC Lions 6, Toronto Argonauts 7th, Ottawa Red Blacks 8th, Montreal Alouettes 9th. One thing that could say that we should have some really good football games is out of the bottom 4 teams, 3 of them aren't playing this week.
Right.
Toronto's the only one in that bottom 4.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. It doesn't make any sense to me on the CFL scheduling. I think they missed a big opportunity there. Imagine if you had Labor Day with double back-to-backs. I mean, would have been great. So you split out, play a game on Friday. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I do agree with you, but when we take a look at the CFL standings for our viewers on YouTube and Facebook, we have Saskatchewan going into the week leading the West with 16, Calgary second, 14, Winnipeg third, 12. Remember, Winnipeg's got Saskatchewan back-to-back, chance to jump them. BC Lions don't play, sitting at 8. Edmonton Elks have a chance of jumping the Lions and moving into 4th. Now, when we take a look at the East, Hamilton Tiger Cats first, Montreal at 2nd, Toronto Argonauts 3rd, Ottawa Red Blacks 4th. This is a big game between Hamilton and Toronto because if Hamilton wins, they can start to pull away in the East. If Toronto wins, they're getting right back in this Eastern Conference race. So we still have a pretty busy Labor Day weekend when we look at those standings.
Can we go back to your power ratings?
You know what, Craig? Just for you, I will do that because you are a
question. I like the last time we was didn't you have Hamilton down around like 7-8 when we had a discussion a couple weeks ago?
And then I re-ranked it because I realized I let my Argo bias get the better of me. I will admit it.
And so now you have them at 4.
Which I'm comfortable with that with what they've done of late.
Okay.
Remember, at one point I had them a couple weeks ago. I had them at 1.
No,
and
yeah,
it's also for me too. It's the way Winnipeg and BC have been playing. I don't think I can put Winnipeg or BC at 4.
Now you're looking at BC because of the way they played against your Argos.
Well, yeah, they got destroyed. Nick Arbuckle threw up 430 yards, 3 touchdowns, rushed for a touchdown. The Argos had their first running. Finally had a game of over 100 yards rushing for the first time all season. BC looked terrible. And Ottawa and Montreal, I think they're kind of just dumpster fires.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Especially Montreal.
And give Edmonton a lot of credit for what they're doing because
Edmonton's won 3 straight, played really good football in 5 straight. Like I said, Edmonton has a real strong chance of going on a run in the West. But now when we look at the actual Labor Day games, and just so our viewers know, we'll break these games down a lot over this weekend. We're going to do a live show on Friday, breaking down all the games. Live show on Saturday, breaking down those games, all of them. Dan Gray is going to be joining us for that Saturday show.
We'll do so you still have a Dan on the panel.
Exactly. We'll do pre and post games of every game. And we will we'll be live Saturday, Sunday, and Monday this weekend for Labor Day classic games. But let's start looking a little bit into these games. And of course, we'll go over our streaker props. But I mean, it's more
are you gonna ring in on your CFL walk this weekend?
Yeah, I was going to talk about it with the mindset, but yes, just a reminder: I will not be on the show per se, but I will be on the show sending videos, giving updates on how the walking is going because I will be walking with the CFL Fight Cancer. So we did an interview with Wick, one of the main organizers. Awesome guy, runs the Hamilton Sports Central. I got the name right this time, so that's awesome. Super nice guy. Thank you, Wick. It's a great thing that we're doing. We interviewed Wick. We talked about the history and what we're doing and stuff like that. There is a website with the QR code in that interview video to donate if you can. We're trying to raise $100,000 for the charity in Winnipeg this year as the money goes to a cancer charity wherever the Grey Cup's being housed, which is a great thing to do. And even if you can't donate the money, if you can just share the video so that everyone know and just give the walk the awareness it needs, that's a huge help as well. So I will be I'll be the first person with cerebral palsy to be attempting the 65-kilometer walk from BMO Field to the Donut Box in Hamilton.
And of course, we'll be checking in with Mr. Morfor throughout the weekend to see how he's doing. So I'll be popping on the island to let everyone know how Dan's doing. So Dan, it's awesome that you're doing that walk. Can't wait to see how it goes.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited. I've been practicing. Last weekend I walked 10 kilometers in a day. So, I've been practicing, trying to get ready for it. So I'm looking forward to being a small part of something fantastic.
So, and it's great you're doing over Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend is one of the biggest weekends in Canadian football. And of course, the first matchup, which is on Saturday, August 31st, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, Winnipeg Blue Bombers versus Saskatchewan Roughriders. Now, Winnipeg has won 3 of the last 4 Labor Day Classics.
Yeah, so very good at that.
Winnipeg has a very good chance of getting themselves back in the race for first in the East, but they're going to have to beat the Riders, who are 8-2, who are just pretty much in every statistic this year. They're doing better than Winnipeg. They have better offense, better defense, surprisingly enough, a better run game, more interceptions, more sacks.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You have Zach Collaros coming off a pretty strong game last week. You have Trevor Harris coming off a weaker game. You have Dalton Schoen, who might be returning. He practiced full on Wednesday.
Ooh.
Kyron Moore was in full practice gear for Winnipeg. Be curious to see how Saskatchewan, though, Shane Bain Jr. practiced in full, and so did their superstar returner, Mario Alford.
Wow.
So, and I'm wondering, too, this obviously won't be for this game, but Joe was cut by the Colts, so I wonder if he might be coming back to the Riders as well, who was a pretty good receiver for them last year. Yeah, so, there's going to be a big game for both teams, right? Like, this is a chance for Saskatchewan to try to at least make it where Winnipeg can't catch them, which I think for them, if they can get even if they get a split over between Labor Day and Banjo Bowl, they put themselves in a good position. But Winnipeg usually wins this Labor Day game. It's been sold out on Winnipeg for about 4 months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we know it's going to be an action-packed game. And should be a great one between two really quarterbacks that, would have been a standard for the CFL the last 3 to 4 years between Trevor Harris and Zach Collaros.
Funny, them that used to be teammates behind Ricky Way in the Argos day.
Absolutely. But I think it's time now we get into, and again, we're going to break down these games a lot more over the weekend, but let's get into our Streakers picks. And of course, we have our Streakers picks. So let's first start off with who do we think is going to win this game? Craig, I am going to give you the floor first. Congratulations. It's a girl. I know you have a daughter. Are you thinking Winnipeg's going to win this one or Saskatchewan? Saskatchewan's been the better team this year. Winnipeg has been historically better in this game on Labor Day than Saskatchewan. It's in Winnipeg.
Yeah, the Green Riders will bounce back.
You're taking Riders. Mr. Moore.
Oh, I thought we were going to ask me right away.
Fine, Mr. Dashko, because Dan's a whiny baby.
I'm with Chazzy. I like getting updated, so I'm going to stick with the Riders. I think they're due for a bounce back.
I am actually going to take the Blue Bombers.
Whoa.
I think the Blue Bombers are going to find a way to try to claw back into the race for first in the West. And they're going to find a way to get this win. It's going to be ugly, I think. And I know you didn't see that coming. Haha, for anyone who's watching on YouTube. But Mr. Moore, you've had enough time now. Quit your whining.
Are you a believer in Claros again?
No, like I said, it's going to be an ugly game.
Lover stick together. I'm going to go with the Blue Bombers.
Wow.
And of course, we have some awesome props for this game in our sports booth. We have Zach Collaros for 2 touchdowns. Brady Oliveira, 75 rushing yards. Saskatchewan, Trevor Harris, 250 passing yards. And Mr. Myers, 70 receiving yards. So, Mr. Moore, I want to give you the Dante Myers, 70 receiving yards. Can he get there? I know you're calling for a Blue Bombers win, but he's been their top receiver, seventh in the CFL. He's been their best deep threat wide receiver.
This game's going to be nuts. I can't say it's going to be a shootout for say, because both defenses are very good, but I think it's going to be a very good game from all 3 sides and from both teams. And I think, yes, Myers will hit 70 yards, even though Winnipeg might win.
Mr. Chazzy, you are calling for a Saskatchewan victory. To do that, they're going to have to try to slow down Brady Oliveira. Do you think they keep him under 75?
Yes.
Wow. You're saying Brady Oliveira will not rush 75 yards.
Wow.
Mr. Dashko, Trevor
That's
Harris,
me.
250 passing yards this game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
And
here we
last but certainly
go.
not least, Zach Collaros will not throw 2 touchdown passes. This is going to be a running game for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So just a reminder, if you pick the same picks we are picking as a collective group, Zach Collaros will not have 2 passing touchdowns. Brady Oliveira will not hit 75 rushing yards. Trevor Harris will pass for over 250, and Dante Myers will receive over 70 yards. So make sure you play along in the Streakers app and make your picks against us. But now we got to get back into our favorite part of it, yes or less. A lot of people are projecting a lower scoring game. So I have set the yes or less to 49 points combined. Mr. Me is going to go first because all you guys look very puzzled. Looks like you're in deep thought. And I am going to say less. We are not going to see 49 points. This is going to be a chippy game, low scoring, old school football. So I'm saying less than 49 points combined. Mr. Dashko.
Yeah, I think it's going to be less.
Mr. Moore4, wakey, eggs and bakey. What do you
I
think?
am awake. My eyes are wide open.
Oh, they're not
Holy
wide open.
cow. Whoa.
It's wide open.
What are you thinking, Moore4?
Yeah, I can't even wide open.
That's terrifying. What are you thinking?
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Moore4, give me a damn answer. Stop stalling.
Okay. Well, both of us stick together, but not on this one. I think it's going to be over 49 points. I'm going to say yes.
Mr. Chazzy, yes or less, 49.
Do you feel like the yellow flag is going to come out a lot in this sort of type of game?
Ooh,
I think so. I think
it's
this game's going to be chippy on both sides, but I think it's going to be a running game.
So I'm going to say under.
You're going to say less. Of course, now that is the first game going on. Then we have Monday, which we get into the doubleheader, which is first one, which is at 2:30 or 11:30 Pacific time. We have the Toronto Argonauts versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Now, this is a huge game for both of these teams. You have the Toronto Argos, who are 3-8, snapped a 3-game losing streak, and really played very well against BC. Remember, after BC first quarter, they were able to pick off Nathan Rourke. They're able to slow down BC's running attack, and they got their running game going for the first time all year. However, Polk is still going to be injured. The Hamilton Ticats 6-4. Now, it looks like he'll be injured. Maybe he'll be back, but he did not practice today. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are 6-4 coming off a bye, but have given up over 400 yards combined between the losses to Saskatchewan and BC. You're having Nick Arbuckle coming off his best 2 seasons in his CFL career, best 2 games. Yeah, Bo Levi Mitchell is coming off his worst, I would say probably his worst game as a Tiger Cat, only putting up 9 points. And this Hamilton defense has been struggling. 2 teams going in different directions right now. However, Hamilton, as Lane likes to rub it in, he knows that lately on Labor Day, it's been Hamilton's favor on Labor Day. Pivotal game in the East. Like, Lane, how confident are you in your Ticats coming off a bye to snap the mini 2-game losing streak?
I'm not confident at all.
Whoa.
I'm not.
Wow.
He's been hurt too much.
Wow.
No, it's just I'm just saying that
hurt.
I feel like I can't see him, but I feel like I'm going to need help, John Cena, because I'm picking the Argos to win this.
Wow.
I'm telling you, you talked to me the same things that you said about the Blue Jays earlier. I'm saying about the Ticats, man. I can't trust a team that hasn't done it. I can't trust a team that was winning games in the last minute of a game. Thing, is there any doubt when you're barely skidding by?
True.
Yeah, your wins are cute. They're not good. I would say they're cute. Dan likes to say that word. I would agree. The wins are cute. They're okay. It's like you're winning games on the last play of the game every time, but that's not going to keep happening. And and again, yeah, I understand the Ticats have beaten the Argos, I don't know, like 7 or 8 times in a row in the regular season, but that doesn't matter, and that's not going to keep happening. Eventually, you're going to lose one of them.
Well, because you got to remember too, a couple years ago, it was the other way around.
Right.
The Argos were Jason was riding a Tiger Cat blow up doll around BMO Field.
No.
It was a very, very different mojo than what it is now. But again, we will break down this game way more in the pregame show.
In Jason's defense about the Tiger, one, it was awesome he was riding the Tiger. Two, the reason why he rides the Tiger
He's riding the Tiger
is because Stripes set Jason on fire back in the Hamilton game.
Yeah, so back years ago, back when the Hamilton mascot was Stripes, he had a Jason doll on an Argos ship and set it on fire. So there was a lot of controversy between those two mascots. I want to see talk about a Royal Rumble. I want to see a Royal Rumble between those two mascots.
That would be a quiet fight.
Again, we are going to have way more on these games in our pregame live shows. But now let's grab our cell phones and dive into the Streakers app. So we already know Lane is going back to Ticats jail, and he is taking the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
John Cena's defending me.
John Cena's going to keep him out of jail.
I don't know where he is, but he's going to help me.
That's nice of him.
Mr. Morfor, who are you taking in this one? Do you have your Argo blinders on, or are you taking Toronto? Taking Toronto or Hamilton?
Argo blinders are on full swing still. I'm taking the Argos. I think they've looked really good the past couple games. They added all these players. I think it's going to take momentum. Polk is coming back. You know, they got the swagger. And Ticats, I know they got the bye. They need the bye, but they haven't looked too good last couple of weeks, and they got really cocky a couple of weeks before that. So Argo blinders are on full. I'm going to be crazy. Can't even see my eyes are on so thick, and I'm going to take the Argos.
Mind you, I am also taking the Argos, but I don't feel it's blinders. I just feel the Argos are trending in the right direction, and this is a good chance to get yourself back into the East race. I do want to say quickly, and I'll break it down more on Monday's show and maybe potentially on Saturday's Labor Day preview show in general. But if the Argos lose this game, their playoff hopes are not done yet. And I will explain that in more detail. Dan, you can laugh all you want. I'll be laughing at you while you're walking in the cold.
Oh.
But Chazzy, who are you taking? Who are you taking, Chazzy?
Like, how solid is that offense that you guys saw last week to go up against Hamilton?
Honestly, Arbuckles had 5 straight games over 300 yards. His last 2 games been his 2 best games in his CFL career, throwing 383 in Edmonton and 430 against BC.
Jacob knows how much I hate the Argos, but I got their offense is cooking.
And Lane, you're not confident on this offense.
How can I be confident about anything that I watch? The Leafs sucked. The Blue Jays sucked 90% of the time, except for maybe this year. I can't comment on anything I watch. I have been hurt so many times. I'm surprised I'm still standing to this day.
Everybody hurt.
I can't even stand because that's how hurt I am. I have to sit on a stream here and I cannot stand.
So
all I'm going to say is I'll clock it with Hamilton.
Oh,
I hope he's right.
Chazzy, quick question. Do you like sushi?
Sushi?
Yeah, do you like sushi?
Depends which
So you like eating them raw. No wonder why you're taking them. But now we get into our streaker props. And our props for this game are Nick Arbuckle, 300 passing yards. Makai Polk, 5 receptions. Bo Levi Mitchell, 3 passing touchdowns. Kenny Lawler, over 90 receiving yards. Got to get at least 91. Now let's see how everyone's feeling on this. I am going to give Mr. Moore for the first one with Makai Polk. Makai Polk is playing his first game in the CFL since November. Do you think he's going to be a big part of this offense of 5 receptions, or could you see him being eased in?
100, he's going to get 5.
He's going to get 105. Okay.
I mean, he's going to get 5 receptions. Being 100%, he's going to do it.
100% he's going to do it.
Try to be cool, blow. You're blowing it.
Mr. Dashko. Kenny Lawler, last time he played Toronto, put up 207 yards. He's been quieter ever since he's been yelling everyone to double team him. Do you think he can put up over 90?
Nope.
Oh.
I'll be honest. I hate saying it. I think Kenny Lawler will do over 90.
Shouldn't be yelling about double teaming because I don't think he's gotten 90 cents.
He's only had one 100-yard game since then.
Ouch. So I'm going to say no.
Mr. Chazzy, since you're taking Ticats, do you think Bo Levi Mitchell can pass 3 passing TDs? He threw 5 against Toronto in the last game.
I'm going to say yes. But back on Polk, he was on the team last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be that hard for him to sort of catch up?
No.
Not really, because too, he put up his numbers with 3 different starting quarterbacks last year between Dukes, Arbuckle, and Kelly.
Well, I was going to say that too. Polk was a huge member, a huge part of the Argos winning the Grey Cup in Vancouver last year. That was the game Nick Arbuckle started. So
yeah, you can just put him right in the lineup then. You don't need to ease him in?
In theory.
Hmm.
But this ain't Madden. It's one thing to do it in November. It's another thing now when you haven't been with the club all year. The offense is still going to be a little different, but it will be easier for him to jump in as he was with the club last year.
right.
Now, for my prop, I think Nick Arbuckle will continue the 300-yard passing games because I'll be honest, I think he has to for this team to win. As much as the running game was a lot better last week, with Spencer Brown putting up over 80 yards on the ground, combined 130 yards between passing and rush. 119 combined yards from the line from the line of scrimmage. He had a really solid game, but I think Nick Arbuckle will put up another 300+ yard game. I look at Hamilton's defense allowing over 900 yards over the last 2. I think they're going to have a little bit of a hard time against this Argo offense. So to look at these props again, if you are taking the same thing as the Island crew, Arbuckle will hit 300 yards passing. Makai Polk will have 5 receptions. Bo Levi Mitchell will have 3 passing yards. However, Kenny Lawler, 3 passing touchdowns. Definitely have over 3 passing yards. My gosh. And Kenny Lawler will not have at least 90 receiving yards. Now, I don't know if you boys agree. This should be the highest scoring game of the weekend.
Yes.
So I have set the yes or less to 58. Yes or less. More for.
Yes.
Lane.
I'll say yeah.
I am going to say no. I think we'll peak around 56. Chazzy, yes or less. Your mic is cut.
Cut.
He is scrambling. He's at the 10. The 5, looking for the mouse.
Less.
Touchdown. Less.
Less.
Chazzy and I are taking less. Lane and more for are taking yes. Now let's go to the final game of Labor Day, which is always sad when it's the last one, and it's the second of the doubleheader. Edmonton Elks versus Calgary Stampeders. I'm going to say one thing. I think this is going to be the best Labor Day game between these two teams we've seen in a while. Both of these teams are playing at a really high level. Key versus Chazzy. Key, friend of the program. Chazzy is the program. He eats, sleeps, breathes streakers. He wakes up with the Streakers app open on his phone, making picks in his sleep. He is Streakers Gaming. Now, when we look at this game, just to kind of give you some context here, Calgary Stampeders are 7-3. They have won 4 straight Labor Day games and have taken 10 of the last 12. This offense is rolling. The defense is allowing the least amount of points in the Canadian Football League. However, you got the Elks. Cody Fajardo's won 3 straight. You're up to 4 wins on the year. All of a sudden, this Edmonton team's looking alive. Fajardo's completed 77% of his passes in 5 starts, 6 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. And Justin Rankin has 494 yards from the scrimmage line to 4 touchdowns over the last 4 games and leads all CFL running backs in receivings with 485. I think this game is going to be a lot more exciting than people are expecting. I'm seeing a lot of people thinking Calgary is going to blow the doors off Edmonton, and I think this game's going to be close.
Is this Fajardo's team now?
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see them going back to Trey Ford at least until the season's done. If they're mathematically eliminated, I could see them maybe going to Trey Ford.
Even then, I don't even know.
But even if they don't get this game, they're not done.
No, but they have a tougher road because they probably need to go in through the crossover, and they lost the season series to BC. Where Toronto, for example, in the East, if they don't get the crossover, they could still catch Montreal for second.
Wow.
So it's tougher for Edmonton because for them to get into the third in the West, they got to pass BC and Winnipeg. It's not impossible, but it's going to be tricky. Edmonton, it's a little bit more dire for them, even though they have one more win than Toronto, just because of the road they have to take.
So there's a lot of do or die games here, sort of.
Honestly, this is usually where by Labor Day you start to kind of see how we think the season playoffs are going to shape up. It's why Labor Day is so important. But now, and again, like I said, we're going to have previews, post games, so much reaction. You're going to be sick of our faces. Well, not Lane's face. It's too beautiful. But let's jump back in the Streakers app. Find your phone. Hopefully you're not sitting on it. And let's make our pick. I will go first, and I am going to shock everyone. The Edmonton Elks will win their 4th straight, snapping the losing streak on Labor Day, and they are going to beat Calgary. Mr. Moore, 4.
Yes.
You taking Edmonton or Calgary?
Oh, boy, this is a tough one, too.
Oh, hurry up.
Edmonton.
Wow.
The boat's leaving.
Mr. Lane.
I thought I was going to be the only one picking these guys, but I'm going with the Elks.
Chazzy, are you still feeling confident in your Stampeders? Because, I mean, I think we're probably all.
Of course he is.
No,
He's not like me.
What Fajardo has done with this Elks team right now, yes, they do scare you a bit. But after what Calgary did last week and with Saskatchewan, like, I don't know. They're going to be tough to beat.
And just as a little bit of a breaking news. Yay, breaking news graphic. Robbie Smith and Stephen Dunbar Jr. have been placed on the 6-game injured list.
Oh,
2 big pieces for the Elks.
wow.
Oh, wow.
But now...
You going to change your picks, boys?
I know, right, boy?
Oh, too late now. You already made
them. Too late to apologize. Let's get into our props here. We have our props for this game as Cody Fajardo, 269 passing yards. Yes, I did 269 because I can. Justin Rankin, 100 rushing yards. Vernon Adams Jr., 2 passing touchdowns. And Damian Alford, 75 receiving yards. Mr. Moore, I want to start with you. Do you think Cody Fajardo can get 269 through the air?
Yes, I do.
He's been averaging 290 over the last 5 starts.
Oh, that's a good number. I was going to say yes.
Okay, he's going against the best defense in the CFL in Calgary. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Dashko, Justin Rankin, can he put up 100 yards rushing?
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't think he will. I think this is going to be tough. I don't think he's going to get 100 yards rushing.
Well, I do, so.
Okay. Screw you. I'm going home. Mr. Chazzy, VA, 2 passing TDs.
Yeah.
Interesting fact about VA, by the way, he is now when he's in the red zone in his CFL career, he has thrown 64 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions in the red zone. So Edmonton better keep him out of the red zone. And I think Damian Alford will have a big game and hit at least 75 yards receiving. He was a bit quiet in his first game back. I'm expecting a bigger game. So again, just to take a look and recap on those props, Cody Fajardo will hit 269 passing yards. Justin Rankin will hit 100 rushing yards. Big play VA will throw for 2 passing TDs, and Damian Alford will have 75 combined 75 receiving yards. Now, for yes or less, which I forgot to put in the script, but that's A-okay. It's still going to happen. I am setting this to 52.
How much?
I think that's too low.
52.
I think that's low.
Yes or less. So
Yes.
Lane's clearly saying yes. Chazzy, yes or less, 52.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm saying less. I think these defenses are going to come to play. Mr. Moore.
I'm going to say yes. You look at the props, so we always say yes to our offensive props, so I'm going to say yes.
Well, there you have it. There is Labor Day weekend coming up. Now, as a reminder, again, we will have preview shows of Labor Day all damn weekend on Sunday and the Monday, post and Saturday. post games of all the games. So make sure you locked on to the Streakers On podcast. We're going to have so much content. You're going to be hearing Streakers On podcast coming out of your ears. Like, you will hear the music. You will feel the passion. We will be in your lives for an eternity. And you are welcome to watch us. Now, Lane, there is more drama in the world of wrestling. So can you tell me a bit about what's been going on?
Well, we got some updates on that last episode that we talked about with Mr. Stuart Smith, a.k.a. Psycho Stu. The WWE has dropped Knox X Pro Wrestling, according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, the school that was the WWE system. That is a school that was run by Rikishi, an old wrestler. That school has now been dropped because of this incident that happened with Raja Jackson and Stuart Smith there. With that incident, they have now dropped it as one of their programs, so they will not be using any of their students or using them as a school to develop young talent, which I'm not surprised by that WWE doesn't want to get involved with this whole kind of mess. So they've just been like, that's your problem. See you later. So they will not be dealing with them. There's been an update on this on the poor individual of Stuart Smith right now. He is conscious and able to talk. So, they did say he was critical care, but he's starting to come back and starting to feel a little bit better. I also just wanted to share out that, because unexpectedly, this poor gentleman, he's just an indie wrestler, doesn't make a lot of money. His health bills came to $200,000. So his partner has put out a GoFundMe. You might see it on your screen. If not, look up the GoFundMe for this poor gentleman. And if if you have a toonie or a loony or a quarter, help this poor guy out. It wasn't his fault. Unfortunately, he was viciously attacked in the ring. He needs to raise $200,000. He is doing not too bad on his goal. I think he's raised about $180,000 so far. So again, just if you can go there to his poor link and help this poor guy out. And this poor gentleman, I feel so bad for him, but if we can all do our part and help this guy out, that'd be great. I see Mr. Beast is helping him out, so I'm sure he'll get his $200,000 because of celebrities trying to help him out.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Now, Lane, are you surprised at all about the WWE kind of like being like, we're not a part of this?
100%. Well, again, because again, this is just
the WWE basically is just doing this.
Well, I don't blame them. This is just a school they had. Maybe they were trying to use it. They're trying to use schools to train their upcoming students. This is nothing that they don't have any direction or any say in this school. This was just something they had tried to partner with because Rikishi was a former pro wrestler. So I'm assuming they were just trying to, maybe do him a solid and be like, well, you have a school, we can use some of your students. But, seeing an incident like this, they're going to back right out. They're not going to keep endorsing this. And again, like I said, they had no say in this situation. They didn't tell them to use this. They didn't tell them to do this. This is their own doing. So I'm not surprised that WWE was just like, we're out.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. I mean, it reminds me of a situation at a Coldplay concert where they have a duck out of the camera views. That's what we're trying to do, duck out of media here. But I think it's the right play to do. And hopefully, just a reminder to the viewers too. Hopefully, his poor wrestler, the medical bills, does face his goal, because when wrestlers are starting out, it's kind of like football players starting out, or hockey players playing in like the ECHL, for example, of a very, very minimum pay situations. They're doing like passing and the love of their sport. So it's not like you're sending a toonie to a multi-millionaire. It's definitely not the case there. Medical bills are crazy down there in States, and he definitely needs all the help he can get.
Yeah,
so
this is just such a terrible situation. Just viciously attacked. Like, I know what he did. I know he didn't mean to do it. He didn't know that this guy wasn't on board. He did think he was actually a wrestler. He did not. And even though they did say, he did say, him, he went because of it. I don't think he expected that level of being hit and being knocked unconscious and hit 8 to 9, 20 times that people have said. So,
yeah,
again, this poor gentleman, I don't think he expected anything on this level.
But obviously, we hope for him to have a speedy recovery. But Lane, what's going on with this clash in Paris on Sunday?
Yeah, so for the second annual time, the WWE will be heading to France to run their big event. This will be the last event on Peacock before they join the ESPN and their direct-to-consumer. So this won't be their biggest event for sure. This is more of a kind of a send-off towards the Peacock as they try to now focus towards the ESPN and their new direct-to-consumer app. So this will be more of a fun event here. This is not, but it's still going to be a pay-per-view that I will have on my Facebook channel, Sports Talk with Lane, and we might even, if we have time, maybe we can do some predictions and maybe a review of the show here, maybe like we did last time of the Super Sunday show. So we'll see if we have time to do that. But yeah, it's going to be a big event. I'm going to run down the card quickly as there's going to be 5 matches. There might be a 6th one. I'm just waiting to see what's announced on the Friday show. But as of right now, we have John Cena versus Logan Paul. We have Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Yeah, for the Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship match. We have Sheamus versus Rusev in a good old-fashioned Brooklyn Donnybrook match, which is supposed to be like a sort of a European no-rules match. We have the head Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed with his manager Paul Heyman in a singles match. And the 5th last match is Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. And to segue into that, Becky Lynch, who is a wrestler on the WWE, she's a heel. So, of course, they were in WWE on Monday in Ozzy Osbourne's hometown there in England there. And she said something pretty controversial about his hometown in Birmingham. She was out there on the show and they were doing a segment. And she said she wouldn't wrestle in Birmingham because the only good thing that came out of here died a month ago. Now, again, this is something that wrestlers do all the time. They come to Toronto and they say the Leafs suck, or, they might burn a jersey. It's all due to a performance. It's nothing serious. It's just supposed to get heel heat and supposed to get the fans booing. But Kelly Osbourne, the daughter of Mr. Ozzy Osbourne, has not been too happy and has gone on social media to say this: Becky Lynch, you are a disrespectful dirtbag. Birmingham wouldn't, I'm not going to say the word, on you if you were on fire. Birmingham forever. Shame on the WWE for allowing such things to be said about my father and his hometown. So she's not too happy with that. But I'm not sure if it's just one of those things where, like, I don't think she was actually being disrespectful. It's more of a wrestling thing. But what do you guys think? Think this is out of line?
I'm going to say this, Lane. I think there's a big difference between saying the Leafs suck and then criticizing a guy who's dead. I think that's crossing a line. And I don't think that's a line that should be crossed. I don't blame the Osborne family for feeling disrespected, because it's very different to go into Toronto and say, yo, your hockey team's bad.
We all know that.
It's very different to say, like, hey, the last good thing your city had passed away. I think there should be a line in the sand. Like, if they wanted to say, like, the local sports team sucked, or when I come here, there's nowhere good to eat, or like, the only way the city's safe is if you have 10 locks on your door or something like that, fine. But I think when it's taking a personal shot at a family that's dealing with a loss, I think that's a different situation. So personally, I think she crossed the line.
Do you think it's just too soon, maybe? Or
I just don't think you cross the line with life and death. That's just my 2 cents on it. I think people grieve in their own ways. It especially is too soon. And again, I don't follow wrestling enough. Maybe this is something that is more common than what I feel it is.
This seemed a little bit extreme.
I think it's fine to try. There's one thing between trash talk. There's another thing between disrespect. And I personally think this is disrespectful.
I think it's disrespectful too, because Ozzy and the Osborne family are very vocal in supporting their homeland of England, which is awesome, and their hometown and all of that. And, it's not just a loss to the Osborne family. It's a loss to the whole rock and roll community. It's a loss to the whole city. It's a loss to the whole country of England. It's a massive loss. And, Yeah, I'm with Jacob on this one. It's just a little. I get West Wing as trash talk as part of it. I totally get it, but I think it's just crossing the line just a tad.
Now, Chaz, do you follow wrestling more than Dan and I do? We're both feeling it's crossing the line. Do you feel it's crossing the line, or do you think this is just typical wrestling trash talk?
Yeah, no, I personally think it's crossed the line, but I know they've done it before, and back when Stone Cold and The Rock, they used to always do it a lot more than I think today is more sensitive. So, but
Yeah,
it's more sensitive now than they were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I think it's a little bit extreme.
Yeah.
They do say these things a lot in the wrestling world. Like they take shots at certain things and family members and stuff like that. So this isn't uncommon, but I do tend to think this you could argue this is a little bit this line could have been skipped.
Well, not just wrestling too, even hockey. Like sometimes the odd thing gets swept on the open mics, and like the hockey players trash each other like crazy. Like, Brad Monsanto, love him or hate him, he's been caught on record commenting on like people's wives' weights and children being disabled and all kinds of crazy things. So I don't know. Hockey's just as bad at it too.
But I'm not a fan of it in hockey either. Like I think there's certain lines you shouldn't cross.
Yeah.
But as we all know, the NFL season's starting up very, very soon, right?
Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, by the way.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
Rest in
And,
peace.
just give
And
props to their
we send out,
family.
everything out to the family and hope that they're grieving the best they can.
Yeah.
But the NFL season's coming up.
Mhm.
And so I thought I'm going to look at some of the odds makers here, which, by the way, we will put out our own odds on our NFL preview show.
Yeah.
But, excuse me. Oh, my gosh. Excuse me. I'm sorry. My allergies have been bugging me today.
Because of crazy air conditioning.
It's not, Dan. No, it's not. But
it is, bro.
Okay,
it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
We are doing. Shut up. Running a purified air conditioner helps allergies, not hinders. Gas or ass?
I don't even know what to say.
Gas from Lade, Chazzy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
Gas. Dan, you are an ass, and your take is ass.
Hee-haw, hee-haw, hee-haw. But my defense mode, the cold AC may help your allergies, but you sneezed. And the cold does make you sneeze.
Yeah, when it's like minus 15, not like 17 plus.
60 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold, bro.
You wanker.
Let's get the
Well,
calculator out.
Let's get into the NFL. That's a very weird gas for us for us today. And so, by the odds makers, number one, I'm kind of surprised about.
Yeah, dude, it's 15 degrees Celsius.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's 15.5.
That's fine. That's not that cold.
What's the
That's
temperature?
way too cold in August, bro.
But Jacob, what's the temperature on these Super Bowl odds?
Thank you, Lane. So when I'm looking at the Super Bowl odds, first of all, I'm a little surprised actually right from the top at the top three being the Ravens, Bills, and Eagles.
Yeah, why are the Chiefs not in the top three? Come on, bro.
Actually, Swift.
I'm going to say it. I actually think the Commanders should be in the top three.
Whoa.
Jaden Daniels is that much more experienced. That team was so close last year.
To
put in perspective, the Commanders are behind the 49ers, and I don't agree with that.
They're so low.
Yeah.
To me, it's crazy.
And
like, how do you guys feel about Baltimore
too?
being basically the consistent favorite by most odds makers? I just think it's nuts. I mean, it makes a little more sense in the NHL when the odds favorite was Carolina to win the Stanley Cup.
That makes no sense.
But
well, EA predicted for the Leafs.
Like, you guys talk about, again, like, I know you guys don't like them, but I still think the Chiefs have been to 3 straight Super Bowls. Even to put them
sure. You never count the Chiefs
outside the
Chiefs
top
are rated at 4th.
Still.
So it's not like those are bad odds. Lions 5th, 49ers 6th.
I was going to say the Lions, yeah.
Green Bay seems a little high, but I get it.
Where's Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, wait till they see
They're
they're
in the bottom
almost
tier.
in the bottom.
Really?
Now, what shocks me is that people are giving Tampa Bay and the Bears a higher chance than the Dolphins.
Dan,
That's one I don't understand at all.
What?
We mean Jacob aren't trying to be mean. Like I'm genuinely shocked that you guys are not shocked that Aaron Rodgers is not good. Like if we're not trying to be mean, we're not even trying to be mean.
I'm trying to be mean.
Well, he might be. He's literally not that
I
good.
got faith in my Aaron Rodgers has had too good of a career to go.
You guys have your Aaron Rodgers blend. You keep thinking this is 2008 and Brett Favre just retired and Aaron Rodgers is.
Hey. Do you know what ever sport is 2008? It's baseball. It's look how good Max Scherzer is. Okay, Max Scherzer looks like fucking 08.
Completely different.
Max Scherzer has to play once every 7 weeks now.
And baseball's not a contact sport.
Max Scherzer has to play once every month with the way the Jays are playing their starting rotation. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to play 17 games every week, getting hit like left, right, and center.
Well, that's not a very good
law. Chazzy doesn't even have an argument, so he just left.
Come on, Chazzy, help me out.
But I'm more surprised about the Dolphins being so low. Like, I'm not surprised about the Cowboys. I will say, I think the Steelers have a better chance than the Jets. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Miami's low because, I think Tyreek Hill wants out, and now Tua Tagovailoa with all his concussion. I don't buy that team.
Yeah, fair. But it was interesting. Before Cook was signed, the Bills were not really on people's radar for a top contender. And now they signed Cook. All of a sudden, people seem to think that, hey, maybe this team is a contender again.
I think Cook is that big of a deal. That's why I was happy with the contract.
Honestly, too, how do you guys feel about the Bengals?
Joe Burrow just went out.
If that defense can just get a stop once in a blue moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe Burrow probably could have won MVP if his team had some defense.
I got a team that I know they won't win the Super Bowl, but I mean they would be a huge sleeper pick. But I got a team that I would like to shout out: Denver Broncos, man. Bo Nix, that guy's legit.
Exciting.
They got a good. They got a good receiving core. Their running back. I don't know if they've improved it this year. I know it was kind of bad, but he was good the year before.
Yeah.
He just had a bad year last year, but I mean, Bo Nix, man, I feel like that's a guy that can just go up there and win you. He feels like almost like a Nathan Rourke, where he's just going to throw some huge bomb down the field and get you to win that game. They're a team I'm watching out for this year.
I will say a team that I would still not give up on is the Houston Texans. I'm surprised they're as low as they are.
I think Mixon's missing a lot of games, so.
You know what? I have a lot of faith in CJ Stroud.
Yeah, Stroud, that's his name.
I know he had a bit of a sophomore slump.
But they lost a big receiver, though.
I still think CJ Stroud's an accurate enough quarterback that he can get it, that he can put this team in for a pretty good position. We'll which is a reminder to our viewers, we will have an NFL preview show where we're going to break down the teams into 4 tiers. Cool. On that show. We're going to break down some of the best players in the league, and we're going to put out players to watch for that season. So make sure you're tuned in for that episode. It'll be Liddy committee to the extreme.
Nice.
But no, the NFL season's only 2 weeks away.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
It is, because they basically take the week off for Labor Day to watch 3-down football.
Yeah.
And then they get right into the NFL week 1.
Yeah. Cool.
Which, looking ahead to the NFL, the first game of the season will be the Cowboys and the Eagles on Thursday, September 4th at 8:20.
That's going to be such a boring game.
I agree. I think it's a really bad game to kick the season off.
Eagles will just dismantle them.
What do you think, Chazzy? How do you feel about the Eagles versus Cowboys for the first game in the NFL season? Do you think that's a good pick? By the NFL, or do you think they're kind of missing the boat?
No, that's a good rivalry. I think the Eagles.
I think it'll be a good game.
Really? I think this game's going to be poop.
I think it'll be a good game.
I think the Eagles are just going to walk and go, yeah, here we go.
Let's be-
And Jalen
yeah, it's
Hurts
just-
is just going to rip that defense apart. Micah Parsons doesn't even want to be there, but yet they won't get rid of him.
The only thing that they're going to have is hopefully Saquon Barkley doesn't fall under the Madden curse.
Oh,
Right.
true, yeah.
Because apparently every player that's on Madden sucks the next year.
I don't know. Personally, I would have loved to see like Bills Chiefs week 1. Let's go. Let's just game 1 of the season.
That would have
You
been
know what?
amazing.
I've said this. I think same in the CFL. I think the first game of the year should be a Grey Cup or Super Bowl rematch.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Eagles
cool.
versus Chiefs. First game of the year.
Yeah, like why don't they do that? I don't get it.
Chazzy's reworking the schedule right now. He's got his thinking glasses on. He flipped his hat backwards, so he's cool. He's going to get a 10-yard penalty on the island. I'm just kidding.
Also, the Chiefs are playing on the Friday in Brazil. That's kind of cool.
Brazil. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Sao Paulo.
Very
Actually,
cool.
too, a game that's exciting, that one. We're going to break all these games down closer, too. But the Bills-Ravens should be a really good game.
That'll be good.
That'll be
Got
a
2
great
potential Super Bowl champions going head-to-head.
game.
That'll be awesome.
And I'll be very interested
2
to see
all-star
how that
running
goes.
backs and all-star quarterbacks.
That should be a fun game.
For week 1 in 2 weeks, boys. So next week, we're definitely going to have to do our preview show. Well, let's move on to the NHL. And in the NHL, just some kind of quick notes. Connor McDavid, if some people thought this contract was getting done soon, that was the rumors. I kept saying that rumor was dumb. Turns out I was right. It doesn't look like they're in any hurry to even start negotiations.
Wow.
Mitch Murder, what have you started, bro? What have you start?
I think
be-
Connor McDavid wants to wait to see if Edmonton's actually a contender or
I'm
not.
telling you,
He
Mitch.
wants to win.
I can see that.
Mitch Marner started something new. I'm calling it out right now. Everyone's going to be running the Mitch Marner playbook to a T. He started a new thing with this whole, I love this city. I just want to see what happens. So you don't want to stay there.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Mitch Marner has just set the playbook for every upcoming free agent for the rest of the time. Yeah, I love this city. I'm just going to wait and see how it goes, but I want to stay here, and I just want to see how it goes. That'll be the next PR line for the next 10 years for all these players that don't want to sign. I'm telling you, gas or ass, 100%. Go play it. We're doing gas or ass.
This isn't there.
I want it. I need it.
And I want it now.
Gas or ass, Mitch Marner. I'm saying I want a gas or ass. Mitch Marner, with what he did last year, is going to be the trend for the next 5 to 6 years of upcoming free agents saying the same thing.
I'll say gas.
Jacob,
I'll
what do you
say
think?
gas, but I also think players have every right to not extend their contracts early.
No, I know, but I'm just saying they're going to. I feel like we're going to be seeing this a lot with McDavid saying it now. Marner said it last year. I think it's going to be a trend.
Nylander kind of did it. Actually, no, Nylander wanted to sign early. The Leafs wouldn't sign him.
That's why I guessed.
Guys,
Yeah,
am
I'll
I
say
crazy?
I'm gonna say ass.
Ooh.
Why though? Why? Tell me why.
Because I know how much of a hate you would have on for Marner.
But McDavid's doing it already. It hasn't even been 3 months, and McDavid's saying literally literally pulled up the script on his phone. Was like, what did Mitch Marner say? Oh yeah, I love this city. I am in no hurry to leave. I really love city. Insert city. I love playing here. I just want to see what happens. He's saying exactly verbatim the same thing Mitch Marner said last year. The exact same thing.
McDavid will even slip up and say, I love playing with Austin Matthews. Oops,
I love
mean
playing with
Leon
insert
Draisaitl.
player. I love the insert city team name. I really want to stay in insert city. I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Hey,
It's a
I
script.
can
Now, mind you, everyone's talking Connor McDavid. The one that I have my eye right now is Rasmus Andersson with Calgary. Now, it's interesting here because the Flames
Vegas.
captain, Mikael Backlund, kind of was hinting at it at a European media tour that Anderson's future is uncertain in Calgary. You have Calgary themselves that have said that they more want to build for the future. Anderson has expressed that he'd love to go play for the LA Kings, and Drew Doughty isn't getting any younger.
Ooh.
And they're trying to find the way to get over the hump against Edmonton.
That'd be
I wonder
huge.
if Rasmus Andersson doesn't even start the year as a Flame this year. I think he could get moved within the next month.
Wow, that would be crazy.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that'd be crazy.
What? Why not, Lane? Why the bleep not? I want to know.
In the NHL, they just don't. I feel like they really don't trade players. Like they don't really care.
Calgary does ever since the Tkachuk situation.
Yeah, I think it will
and
happen.
The Gaudreau situation, rest in peace. Calgary's looking. They don't want to be burnt like that ever again.
I think it will happen.
But they could wait till the deadline.
No,
they could, or they could do it now and get rid of and just have the drama out of the way.
Yeah, I think they're going to do it now. It's been really quiet the past couple of weeks in the NHL offseason. We kind of predicted that with the free agency class being very weaker. So
there's been rumors too about the Buffalo Sabres being really interested in them because they've been wanting.
Why? They have so many.
They don't have any good defensemen.
Why?
They're kind of like Detroit with goaltending. It's a bunch of mediocrity.
Why?
Like people have said Toronto, and I'm like, well, it's not going to happen. I could see it. I've seen rumors about Boston. I could see Boston.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas.
Vegas Golden Knights. Sorry, excuse me.
Curious, Chazzy, how would you feel about him going to Montreal just to bolster that back end even more?
Oh, it'd be nice, but I think we're set in the back end right now.
I think you're set in your back end. You're going to do with all that junk inside your trunk. But yeah, honestly, I think I'd actually like to see him in Ottawa. I don't think Ottawa did enough this offseason to elevate their team. And I think you bring in a real bona fide second pairing defenseman who can play first when Shabbat stubs his toe and gets injured again because Shabbat just can't seem to stay healthy. But I honestly think there's a good chance Rasmus Andersson doesn't even come to training camp to Calgary this year, and I think a deal gets done.
Well, especially he's all when they said he wants to play for LA. It's like, come on, just go away.
So they'll trade him to a team that they'll probably trade him to like Arizona.
Would be funny.
Oh,
that's why I miss Arizona in the league. I was just a place where every player sucked. It's gonna jump to Arizona.
The one thing about hockey that I will give them credit, whatever team you say you want to go to, they'll be like, yeah, that's cute. We'll go play. We'll go put you in like some team you don't want to play in, and we'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah,
like they don't care.
No, they don't.
No, they just do
hockey is all business.
Hockey is this weird thing where like it's like where they're just like, yeah, we could make this trade to make our team better, but it makes them better, so we're not doing that.
But just so you guys are aware, the trade rumor mill is coming strong. There's been rumors about Panarin, future in New York, could not make it through the whole season, saying that it's from Hockey Insiders that if this team doesn't make the playoffs, Panarin's gone.
New York's another weird bubble team
on the dropping block. And last but certainly not least, Adam Lowry is surprising everyone in skating just 3 months after his hip surgery.
Yeah, so good on him. Yeah,
he could be back for the start of the year.
Wow, good on him.
Or it could be like a Chad Kelly situation in Toronto. Everyone thought he was going to be back by like week 1 or week 2, and now we're week 13 and he's still not playing. Wow. Who knows? Tyson Barrie also retired after 822 games. So congratulations for your 15-year career, Mr. Barrie.
Yeah, nice work.
But speaking of Barrie, we need to wrap up the show with the guy who's from Barrie, kind of. He was born not in Barrie, but he lived there most of his life. Mr. More for your money. What's your mindset for us tonight?
Well, I already mentioned it during the CFL panel, but it's a good one. So I mentioned here at the end of the show. We were talking with Rick earlier this month about the CFL Fight Cancer Walk happening this weekend. That's why I want to mention it twice this episode. It's a really big deal. It's a great charity that Rick from Hamilton Sports Central and a few Argo fans, Ticats fans, Argo fans working together, which is awesome. You don't see that every day. Doing it for a great cause. They raised $75,000 last year for a cancer charity in Vancouver. This year, the goal is $100,000 for a team in Winnipeg. They just choose a cancer charity based on where the Grey Cup is being hosted, which is a great idea. So spread the wealth. And, if you want to watch the interview and hear about the background. Really cool story. The QR code is right in there for you to donate, which is fantastic. But if you can't donate, I understand it's a tough time. If you can just share for love and get the message out there, this is happening, as nowadays awareness is just as important as money being spent. But I'm also joining them with the walk this weekend, so I won't be on the show live per se. We will be sending videos of updating. I've been practicing walking, and it's a 65-kilometer walk from BMO Field, where the Argos play, to the Hamilton Stadium, where the Ticats play. And I'll be the first person with cerebral palsy to attempt this walk over 4 days. So hopefully we can raise a lot of money for a great cause, and it'll be a very exhausting and interesting weekend, depending on the weather.
Hopefully you bring lots of socks.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to do. I didn't think of that. I guess I'll have to do.
Thank you very much for joining the Streakers Island podcast. If you want Streakers Island socks, let us know. We are working on getting some merch locked and loaded and ready to launch.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you very much for watching the Streakers Island podcast. If you're looking for more Streakers Island content, follow us on all the social medias: Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
TikTok.
And other social medias that we don't know about, send it my way. I'm an old fart. Craig's an old fart. Lane's an old fart. Dan's an old fart. We probably should be in senior homes by now, but we're not. We're running a podcast. So thank you very much for watching. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. Dashing, Lane himself, Mr. More for Your Money, and Craig 7.97, very close to 8.0. And as a quick reminder, if you have not updated your Streakers app, you need to update it. So just go into your app store. If you're on the Play Store for Android, App Store for iOS, make sure you head on in there and update the app. There's been so many changes. That's where I joked that Craig was lost on a boat. He's actually just been working so hard on this app to improve it for you, the gamer. So make sure you get on in there, use it, and send us your feedback on it. There's things you want in there, changes you would like to see as a community. Let us know, and we will do our very best. When I say we, it's mostly just Craig. We just make him so he doesn't sleep. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's why he's updates during the show, right? If he updates during a night, that means he's sleeping. He can't sleep. He's Craig. But thank you very much for watching. We will be back on Saturday with another live show. So until then, bye, everyone.
Bye.
John Cena!